Anyways, there's something about this message. I could feel it. What was it? What was I thinking? Oh my god. Alright, we're playing all this. Kane killed Devin because okay, this is definitely gonna be one of those where it would really help to have a fucking trap Kane. Can trap Kane because Kane killed Devin. Okay, so 2 statement, 1 sentence. Camera and trust that an hostage if and learns that. Yeah, that's not obviously gonna. Okay, so we have a small sentence and a really big sentence. Playing with the camera. Oh boy. Where Kane killed Devin, period. If Kane doesn't learn that, then I can trap Kane. Because I have Odin hostage and Kane can trust others. And the camera where Kane killed Devin. If this is a complete stab in the dark, Kane doesn't learn that, then I can trap Kane. Because I have Odin hostage, and Kane can. Last P doesn't seem to fit. Yeah. It's another one where we get the general premise, but the last piece doesn't fit. Shit. Actually, I think this might be plausible. You look at how this sentence came together. Kane killed Devin where I planted a camera. If Kane doesn't learn that, and Kane doesn't suspect me, then I can trap Kane because I have Odin hostage. That seems to fit the final pieces of this together. This might still be wrong, because there's always a chance that my logic is not moon enough. Or I'm just not thinking the exact same lines of logic as the developers were. I feel like that's the key point here. Fuck. Okay, this is dumb. So, Kane killed Devin, where I have Odin hostage. No, incorrect. Kane killed Devin, where I planted a camera. Now, I guess you could make an argument that the logic makes sense, but if he doesn't suspect me, and he doesn't learn that fact, then I can trap Kane because I have Odin hostage. I'll give this one a bit of a pass because there's actually reasonable logic that you can use to figure this out. But tell me why my last guess wasn't correct and this one is. What? I swear I just got this to work. What the shit? No, I realize what I did now. So, Kane killed Devin, where I planted a camera. If doesn't suspect me and doesn't learn that, then I can trap Kane because Kane can't trust others. Okay, I was just flailing around with my choices and got one to work and didn't realize that was why I got it to work. What? This is just... Okay, once more with fury. Kane killed Devin, where I planted a camera. If doesn't learn that and doesn't suspect me, then I can trap Kane because Kane can't trust others. What the shit? Kane killed Devin. I planted a camera. He doesn't suspect me. And doesn't learn that. Then I can trap Kane because I can't trust others. Kane killed Devin, where I planted a camera. If he doesn't learn that, and he doesn't suspect me. Wait. This is glitching. Kane killed Devin, where I planted a camera. If doesn't suspect me and doesn't learn that. Okay, this is showing up differently then. This is going to finish. I can set Kane because what the shit is going on? Kane killed Devin, where I planted a camera. If he doesn't suspect me and doesn't learn that, then I can trap Kane because Kane killed Devin, where I planted a camera. If he doesn't suspect me and doesn't learn that, then I can trap Kane, because Kane cannot trust others. It's fucking broken. Try this one more time. Kane killed Devin, where I planted the camera. If doesn't learn that and doesn't suspect me, then I trap Kane because Kane cannot trust others. If this works right, this should be the answer. What the fuck? That does not learn that, does not learn that. Then I can trap Kane, because that just fucking worked somehow. Why the fuck did that work? Why did that work? Why did that work? Why did that work, huh? We're gonna troubleshoot this live. Does not suspect me. And does not learn that. Then can trap Kane, because Kane cannot trust others. That fails. Does not suspect me and does not learn that. Then trap Kane because cannot trust others. That fails. Kane killed Devin, where I planted a camera. If does not learn that and does not learn that yet, then can trap Kane because but if we run through this, if we just let this legitimately run through, see if it just bugged into display. Kane does not learn that, and Kane does not learn that. Yes. Then I can trap Kane because Kane cannot trust others. It's bugged! It's so bugged! Oh god. I want my 7 chips for putting up with this shit. Give me my chips. Did not learn that, and Kane does not suspect me. This is gonna fail. Because it didn't glitch out. Yeah, that fails. You cannot get 7 chips in this. You have to bug it out in order to actually get through this. Oh my god. This is so dumb. Oh my god, did I unbreak this? I'm so mad. Kane killed Devin. Where? Planted a camera. If doesn't inspect me. Doesn't learn that. Then can trap Kane. Because Kane can't trust others. Failure. Kane killed Devin. Where? Planted the camera. If Kane doesn't learn that, and Kane doesn't learn that. Okay, so you have to go the opposite way first, and then you can get the glitch that actually lets you finish this fucking segment. That's so dumb. Sorry, I'm mad about that in particular. If he died in the governor's building, I had a spark of inspiration. I could see it. The way to lure Kane out. Maybe the only way to lure Kane out. Then, should I send a message back? No. Kane was sharp. Too sharp at a time like this. The only chance I had for this plan to work was to get his cooperation. Kane killed Devin. What? Damn, that sucks. Yeah, he tried to kill me, but Devin's still family, you know? No. Here's all my spawn or failures. Truly heaven mocks. This is my curse for failing, Zahak. Be fitting, I suppose. What the fuck, Odin? Odin, Devin wasn't a failure. He was killed. By Kane. Don't you want to get revenge on him? Don't you want to make it right? Work with me and you can do that. Revenge? What a funny notion. You just spent like a fucking 20 minutes trying to kill me. Out of revenge. The only one who should be trying to avenge a dead body is said body's spirit. It is each individual's responsibility to try and survive a dangerous world. If someone perishes, then it is by their own merit that they failed. Kane killed Devin? I imagine there was a good reason for it. What kind of reason would that be? Quiet, Polly. The adults are speaking. Odin, you can't be serious right now. Your son was murdered by Kane. Legacy snatched away. You won't retaliate in the slightest. You knocked down my company and I only sicked 2 idiots on you. I believe in live and let live. But why? I already told you. You are not the first I've met with this sort of ambition. Not the second either. My mind started racing back. Beating you is a requirement to me. It's a requirement you make to anyone you back. You told me that. So then, Kane won your approval. In many ways, yes. Now you bought yourself some value, entering my domain, solving the Brother God's puzzle, investing my sons in business and combat. But still, you should not get me to switch ships that easily. I thought about Odin's words. Thought about them for a while. Then I had an idea. It's a bad one, to be sure. There's a saying amongst lawyers. Never ask a witness a question you don't know the answer to. That same token, there should also be a saying amongst swindlers. Never enter a gamble you don't know how to win. I was running out of time and certainly out of options. And so... Alright then. Let me win your backing by besting you. Oh. Most talented deserve to thrive, right? If I can prove myself right here, right now, then will you cooperate with me? Interesting proposal. Quite interesting indeed. And pray tell, how do you wish to prove yourself? Let's finish the match that was interrupted. Finish the match of star alignment. Oh. You think that is a worthy enough challenge to prove yourself? I mean, let's finish it the way we left it. You're the ruler. I'm the dreamer. and you get to choose who gets what cards. And I'll still beat you. I could see by the look in Odin's eyes that I had him. It was too poetic. He couldn't possibly resist. Good. Good, good. This is a good final test indeed. An impossible task, fitting for an impossible ask. 1 round, though. On a time crunch. Yes, 1 round. 1 round to decide the fate of Panthea. Shall the outsider be put in their place once and for all? Will the path to salvation open up? The only way to learn the truth is to duel. As Odin began to set things up, I felt my brain go into overdrive. Focus. Focus. I had to win for the dreamer's side with cards 1 through 6 somehow. I had gotten myself into this gamble without thinking. I clearly couldn't get myself out in the same way. What is Odin going to do? Alright, here we go. I need to figure out a way to beat Odin. To get winning, I need to figure out a way to survive. He was good, but he was invincible. What was his weakness? Odin possessed an extraordinary advantage with these dealt cards. He was likely familiar with playing this setup. Really, solid play was the only way I stood a chance. Out of hand? Unexpected trick, eh? Not a blatant cheat. Odin wouldn't respect that. Last time Odin was cheeky, holding on to the dangerous 7 card. I doubted he'd pull the same trick twice. Something that was closer to, say, a loophole. I should assume that his hand will consist of the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Couldn't beat Odin, not at this. Worse, Odin was likely to dump the lower cards on the end of his sequence, where they were less vulnerable. Perhaps Locke, king of cheap tricks and rules lawyering, maybe he would stand a chance. Last time I thought that the first 3 cards were my opportunity. Then the question becomes, where is the loophole? Clearly Odin already thoroughly had those bases covered. What was the ill-defined piece of this game? The one thing not in focus. I should think about how it would be possible for me to win. There are certainly a lot of elements to choose from. Let's be objective. I could only realistically make an alignment with my 6, my 5, and my 4. For one, you had the final neutral card that sat on the end of the table the whole time, and had to incorporate Odin's 8, his 9, his 10, or possibly his 11 in a pinch. You had the chips, you had the cards, we had... Sounds simple when you put it just like that. I was starting to draw a blank. The game was pretty tight, not a lot of vulnerabilities. The only problem is, Odin wasn't too keen to let me make an alignment. Was it over? Was there no bullshit edge case I could abuse? Odin would just separate his dangerous cards whenever he saw one of mine. Shit! Alright. Wait a second. That was it! The final card. It sat on the table the whole time. It sounds simple when you put it just like that. Rule said you could put chips on any card during your turn. What if I placed chips on the final card before it was flipped? The problem is, Odin wasn't too keen to let me make an alignment. I mean, Odin probably wouldn't see that coming. This might be the crucial break I was hoping for. Odin would just separate his dangerous cards whether he saw one of mine. Then follow-up question. 2 chips? 3 chips? 4 chips? Okay, it's gonna be a lot of spitballing here. Let's assume Odin plays it safe, hides the 7 as his final card. You couldn't use less than that. He placed an even card as last card, then theoretically I couldn't do anything. I would need to spend 1 turn placing chips on my last card. 1 turn placing chips on one of his. Now it's an some scenario, okay. So 1. 2 chips, However, if I pre-placed a chip on the final card my second to last turn, making an alignment would be possible. At that point, Odin would simply need to spend one chip and my attempt would be thwarted. One problem, Odin also has access to chips. It would take so little effort to mess up that plan on his last turn. It was simple. If I wanted to find a way to win, I'd need to overcome that hurdle. My plan to work, I need to distract Odin somehow. Fork Odin. Deceive Odin. If I told him, the more I thought about it, the more I realized something that sunk the whole idea. Was that he's skirting on the edge by being on the borders of the rules. I did something more blatant than that, something that fundamentally broke the game. I could provoke Odin's wrath. He was far more temperamental than he'd care to admit, and my encounter with him as Locke showed. I wanted him to go through with this bet. He can't feel cheated, not really. Could abuse his game, sure, but I need to do it cleanly, to solidly shove my victory in his face. Couldn't see a way to do that by deceiving him. Deceit is out. Fork Odin? Odin knew that it was best to save your chips for as long as possible. If he knew I didn't have a chance, he might wait to protect himself from some potential threat. Even more likely if I incentivized him somehow to keep his chips. I could set up a scenario early on in the game where I might use up all my chips to make an alignment. It was possible. I could fork him, make him choose one of two separate attacks to defend against. It was a loose plan, but at this point, a loose plan was as good as I was getting. But then, considering everything, the last card I should place should be... fuck, I don't know. 6. He had the cards, he had 10 chips, we were ready to play. Before we start, I want to establish two things. Oh? First of all, let me re-clarify a rule. On my turn, I can place as many chips as I have on any card, right? Not just my own? Naturally, that is a core tenet of the game. Have you forgotten it already? I only played it once, okay? I just wanted to be clear about that. Secondly, clear stakes. If I win, I want your cooperation, regardless of how many chips I have remaining. Fine. Even using all your chips, you stand no chance. If you win, I will stay completely motionless for as many seconds as you have chips. Understood? Oh. Loud and clear. Hear that, you brats? You may have your vengeance yet. Hart stayed quiet. His face was like a stone. He looked unwell. Polly, on the other hand, frowned a bit. Hey, why would you impose that rule on yourself? Gamble's got to have stakes. It is because he possesses a fighter's spirit, Polly. Something you are sorely lacking in. Now come, we've spent too long chattering about nonsense. I couldn't agree more. Odin shuffled the cards and dealt them. As expected, 1 through 6. The plan so far? Without even talking, Odin placed down an 8. Of course. 8 was another vulnerable card. Better place at the start, but it was only assailed on one side. You placed an 11 or a 13 next. You totally could. You didn't know what I had planned for my 6. Even without using an 11 or a 13, I would look so helpless. A single chip on his behalf would completely wreck my plan. So, I placed down a 5, and held my breath. No, I didn't do that. Couldn't show that I was worried about this turn. Just waited. Then, like a beam of heaven, Odin placed down a 10. I didn't react at all. Just pretended to think. And then I placed down my 2. I began to tap my foot in a rhythmic but increasingly quick manner. Odin just needed to keep playing. My 8, 9, 10 threat was meaningless. Could be solved at any point. I need to waste chips now. Played a 9. I played a 1. Played an 11. I played a 4. You played a 13. Yes. Yes. I played down a 3, then took one of my chips and placed it on the face down card at the end of the line. Please be a 7 under there. Odin looked at me with a confused look. I just looked back at him. Then he smiled. He was smart. He knew what I had done. He knew that he was beat. You were proficient at Nahoy's nest, were you not? Ah, I should have been more practiced in my approach. I was too preoccupied in trouncing you at my own game that I forgot you were wont to play on your own. He didn't respond. I didn't have to. I just waited for him to act. And act he did. He placed us down a 12, then placed a single chip on the first card, the 8. Placed down my 6, and then placed my remaining 4 chips down on it. Flipping over the last card, 7. 12, 8, 10, 12, 10, 8. I said it, not even believing the words coming out of my mouth. And like that, I had won. Well, damn, GG. I tried to hide the massive sigh of relief I felt like letting out. This wasn't the time for that. I need to project confidence. Jeez, how many heart attacks could I get in a single day? As it should be. Interesting. Quite interesting indeed. Unexpected outcome to be sure, but not an unattractive one. This is what I was looking for. This was the spark of life this city was missing. Does that mean what I think it means? Indeed. Kane has grown sloppy and slothful. If he is worthy to inherit Zahak's will, he should be able to overcome this obstacle with grace. So with my dying breath, I shall back you. Let this be my final bet as a ruler. Good to hear. I don't need much from you. All you have to do is make a little call. But for the love of God, don't go along with this nutcase. Polly, you have no idea what you want, and you have no idea what you're talking about. Just shut up. A mere call, is it? If you're calling upon my name, this planet better be worthy of a ruler. Oh, trust me. I think you're gonna like what I have up my sleeve. Good. And then I informed Odin of all the relevant details. Picked up on my intent rather quickly. Understandable. Deep down, Odin was clever. After we were clear on what was to be said, I handed Odin his phone. To be honest, I wasn't sure if I could trust him. He was just as liable to warn Kane of my whole shit the moment he got on the line. But, well, I mean, it's not like things could realistically get worse from here. Play my outs. Odin would help. Odin dialed up Kane's number, and moments later the phone picked up. Ah, Kane. You are lucky I've decided to grace your ears with my voice. Yes, I'm safe in the war room. This is actually what I wish to discuss with you. Our city's intruder burst into this area not very long ago. No, I'm okay for now. Art and Polly were around to handle it. Of course they didn't finish the intruder off, they're incompetent. Just able to take the fight out of the bunker, and I locked them all out of there. To say what will happen when one side wins. If the intruder is victorious, perhaps they shall try to break into the bunker. Regardless, I have information I wish to convey to you. Naturally, it's important. Got your message about killing Devon. Always knew he was a weak one. Could care less about how he was handled. However, you said you finished him in the governor's office, yes? May raise a problem for you down the line. See, it was a brief conversation with this stranger. But in it, they quoted the governor's words spoken in confidence to Ariane. I could only imagine that such an exchange was captured by a bug of some type, be it listing device or camera, hidden in said office. I would wonder what if said device was still present. Inference, Kane. Inference. You know this individual's capabilities as well as me. Surely they had several opportunities, no? The relevant fact is, if you did end my son in that office. Ah, so you see the rub. Good. You always were clever. Utterly unbefitting for the successor to be defeated in such a trivial manner. If a challenger is to dethrone you, I wish it to be a grand battle, not a rogue mechanical device. Yes. Good. Then I shall take my leave. Just like that, he hung up. So, went well? It is done as you wish. Now go forth. The fated clash awaits you. Fated clash, my ass. Go get yourself killed, asshole. That does it. Shut the hell up, Polly. Ah, it seems one of you still has a spark left. You shut the hell up too, Odin. You two ruined my life. Ruined your life? How dramatic. I gave you everything you ever asked for. None of that shit matters. I am smart. I am determined. I am capable. Those are traits inherent to me. I would have had an excellent life regardless of the circumstances of my birth. What you gave me, Odin, you monstrous king, was a warped perspective of the world. For whatever reason, I believed in you. I followed you. And look where that brought me. Relying on underhanded tactics. Accepting death as a calculated loss. I am unforgivable. Polly, Devon, we were all transformed into beasts. That is your own fault. It's because you were not prepared. No, Odin, this is on you. You claim to care about your legacy, but it was by your hand that the Desma family will go down as the scum of the earth. At the end of this, I'm going to end up in prison. My only consolation is that by accepting my fate, I'm consigning you to yours. You're going to live to understand that every warped, shitty belief you hold is worthless. Odin said nothing. Surprisingly, these words seemed to actually get through to him, somewhat. Polly just sulked silently. On the surface, it was a bit surprising that of the two of them, Art was the one that actually had a change of heart. Art is the one who actually has a bit of a decent heart. But it made sense. He had always been the mature one. Art turned to me. I am sorry for my family. Please, save Panthea. I'll do my best. Gave Art a token nod, then turned around. Honestly, I didn't really give a shit about whatever personal revelations Art might be going through. Sure, it was neat that Art had come to this realization about himself, but at best it was just a way of shirking responsibility. And it was too little, too late. Meantime, I'd be busy dealing with shit that actually mattered. Climbed out of the war room, exited Odin's mansion, and got back in my stolen car. Time to head to the governor's office. I slammed on the gas pedal and made good time. The governor's office wasn't super far from here, but if Kane happened to be hiding out super close to it already, well, that couldn't really be helped, could it? It'd probably be fine. I had successfully lured Kane out. I was certain this would work. Why? I was counting on Kane's fundamental nature. He was smart. Smart enough to realize that I totally would have put a camera in Aisha's office. Because hey, I did. More importantly, if he did personally kill Devon in the office, then I knew it had to be him retrieving that camera. Not some henchman, not a proxy. Him. Why? Because in his mind he couldn't picture anybody who wouldn't just check the bug for information themselves. It's what he'd do after all, and he couldn't let somebody get leverage on him. So then, spurred on by a trusted confidant, he'd go and check for the recording device himself. That's when I'd be there. I confronted him in that office, and I thought some more about things. If I was going to beat Kane, while I drove, I took out my phone. Before long, I arrived at the governor's building. Noticed one other car parked nearby. A familiar car belonging to a familiar reporter. Well then. Here it was. Do or die time. One way or another, things would be coming to a head. I could only pray for the best. I parked and got out of the car. Took one final breath. Then I walked over the building's front doors. I wasn't actually totally sure about how to proceed from here. Luckily, it turned out that the front doors were unlocked. Well, that was easy. I entered the governor's building and looked around. I didn't see anybody. Was Kane in the office? It was likely. Just one thing to do, then, I supposed. I steeled myself and headed down the hallway that led to Aisha's office. Just have to sit. Click. Thud. What the fuck? I looked back and forth, panicking. What the hell was going on here? Without any warning, big metal shutters had dropped in front and behind me. Oops. What the ever-loving fuck was happening here? To answer my question, Kane casually walked out of Aisha's office, a smug smile plastered across his face, pistol in his hand. Well. Turns out there are a few mysteries of this city you didn't figure out. Good to know you're still fallible. I was getting worried there for a moment. Racked my brain, and instantly I found evidence of this security measure existing in my memories. Shit. I should have... Well, actually, if I had included there was just something like this from just Ganny's reaction when I tried to enter his lock, I'd have been completely crazy. Thinking about it though, there must have been some way to deactivate whatever this setup was over at the front desk. Not that that mattered much from where I was standing. Oh, watch out, by the way. The fences are electrified. Don't want you zapping yourself. Yeah, it's messed up. You're not surprised to see me. Oh, here? Yeah, I had a hunch you'd be showing up. The story about Odin just so happening to hear this information that tipped him off in the recording just seemed a bit too good to be true, you feel me? I was grateful, sure. Life doesn't often give you much to be grateful of. That's what tipped me off. How oddly defeatist. Yeah. Kane shrugged. Marduk was always reliable. Straight shooter, man of his principles. Odin, though? He was always far too eccentric. I always figured that eventually he'd end up biting my hand one way or another. Guess that day's today. Not that it mattered. Because in the end, it looks like you're the one behind bars. You lose. To accentuate the point, Kane held up the pistol at me. Shit. This was really bad. Was I really fucked? No, I still had an out. There was still a way to turn things around. Just need to buy some time. Need to keep Kane talking. Luckily, from what I could tell, he really loved the sound of his own voice. The motivation behind all this. Really not going to tell me. Why would I? No need. Already figured it out. Oh? That's fun. Well, while we're here, why not go ahead? I'm a little curious as to what you figured out. Straightforward, like I thought. Well, as straightforward as anything can be in this fucked up city. Zahak. He led Panthea to the state it is in now, alongside with the Tremurti, Odin, and Marduk. Whatever this was, it was clear. It was with the will of somebody carrying on his will. I asked if he had any children. Apparently he did, but just some daughter who died a while ago. Nothing to look into at first glance. Then I remembered Zahak was a bit older than Odin and Marduk. Just because Zahak's only daughter died, that didn't mean his lineage died out. Not if his daughter had a son of her own. Huh. Looks like he caught on to Panthea's worst hidden secret. Real truth of my parentage. Neat, good on ya. Well, it's not like it was a real secret. Anybody can figure it out if you know where to look. Hell, I told you that my grandfather was a big shot politician that made the city like this back a long time ago. You know, you said I disappointed you. I think it's my turn to turn that phrase back around on you. Just trying to follow in Granddaddy's footsteps? Pretty uninspired if you ask me. Maybe. Still, if I had to guess, that explains what happened to their parents. You know, the whole thing about your dad killing your mom, trying to kill you? What if it didn't have anything to do with that? What if they were just two unrelated things? That'd be fair enough, I suppose. Is that the case? Nah, you got me figured out pretty well. It was a pretty tragic case all around. My dear sweet mother didn't do anything wrong. She was just teaching me about my past. Teaching me about my future. It struck me with Zahak's lessons about how Panthea needed to be for a sparkling future to be reached. Nobody believed in Zahak more than me and more than my mom, even when he was in jail. Though Odin and Marduk were close seconds. Anyways, my father was this huge spiritual nut. He looked at the Zahak situation very differently. When he got wind of what my mother was doing, he totally went nuts. Went on about how she was letting the corruption spread, how it needed to die out. Batshit stuff, let me tell you what. All of a sudden, Papa's got a gun. I'm running, I'm hiding. Eventually the police come and sort it out. Wow. You know, when I first heard that story, I never would have thought that I would end up sympathizing with the father before too long. Seriously. Low blow indeed. That had been an intentional low blow there. Yeah, possibly. Still, it feels like it wasn't so far off on the corruption thing. You sure grew up fucked. I grew up with a sense of perspective. I know what I need to do when growing up. I figured I'd run out of talking room sooner if I didn't direct the topic of conversation towards more substantive topics before too long. Anyway, this secret of yours is what sparked the murder of Maximilian Collins, isn't that right? I'd blame that part less, yeah. Though it was certainly a factor. Max, the moron. Looking for a quick way to relieve himself of old debts, he broke into his aunt's storage locker to look for valuables. Apparently, he found something quite valuable. Veronica's diary. In it, she detailed all sorts of things. One of these entries, written in stunning detail, talked about the confession Odin, that damn braggart, had made to her in private. About how he masterminded this city with 2 others in a makeshift triumvirate. How he had worked with Zahak and Marduk. Reading this, Max was at least sharp enough to know that he had stumbled upon something big. However, unable to see anything beyond the most immediate small-term use of this information, Max decided it could be good blackmail fodder. It was a real scandal. People would pay to keep it hushed. Max would have decided against blackmailing Marduk. They added the Duats directly, perhaps showing a wisdom I couldn't have pegged from him. He also must have figured Odin was too dangerous to blackmail directly, which left him 1/3 to try and abuse. He didn't know much about Zahak at the time, but he did his research. Found out that I was his descendant. As a semi-public figure, a reporter with a reputation, must have figured I was the perfect target. I cared enough to try and hide the scandal about my grandfather. I likely had some funds to pay him with, but I didn't actually pose a threat. Or at least that's what he thought. When he came to you to blackmail him, you realized how dangerous he was, knowing about the Tremurti. After all, you used those connections to support the puppet the city, right? Pretty much. I used the fact that I was the Zahak's descendant, trying to fulfill his legacy to turn Odin and Marduk to my side. It took a bit of convincing, both of them. Odin was particularly arbitrary with some tests, but both men always had too much respect for my grandfather, had too much faith in his ideals. Even if they had grown older, past the whole thing, they still felt like they owed me their ear. If only to swap information. Being able to pull some strings with Odin and Marduk gave me the sway I needed on the Olimpo and Duat fronts. But if Maximilian Collins knew about the Tremurti, then my secret was a threat. Honestly, I didn't even mind the blackmail that much. Could easily put together that sort of cash. The issue was the information he knew. And if he promised not to talk, an idiot like him, he was bound to slip up. Get in more debt, push for more money. Just a general liability in all senses. So, I just took matters into my own hands. Don't like to, for obvious reasons. But sometimes it's called for. There's the gala. I put his body into my trunk and brought him over to dump outside the venue. Match with the bell. The crime was neatly pinned as a double killing for the Cock Robin killer. Good way to cover my tracks. Little late on my part, but good to know I finally solved the case. Did you? Ah, what the hell, I'll give it to you. I needed to keep jumping to topics Kane was interested in. You said you used your Tremurti connections to sway Olimpo and the Duats. Then to complete the trifecta, you just need to put the governor into your debt. That's where the djinn comes in. You knew about the djinn, too? God damn, are you thorough? But yeah, I told you all the way back when, given my history, there was no chance I could ever be elected legitimately. And that was fine. I had learned from Zahak. I had learned from his mistakes, too. Being governor openly had too many weaknesses. It made you a high profile, which then made you a target. It was also the most temporary of the three heads. Wanted my plans to be a bit more sustainable, so electing a puppet head just made more sense, But damn, I think I kinda screwed it up. Sure, Aisha seemed like a good choice. Vaguely resembled Zahak, likely to fall under the influence of the djinn. Easily electable. Early days I was big on keeping her in the front. Before long, she just wasn't working out. She acted too slow, hoarded too much power. She had lost the plot, so to speak. I am a very patient man. I was willing to wait, if that was what perfection took. Even I have my limits and Aisha has reached them. That why you were having more coverage on the Oracle that wasn't just pro-Aisha? Transitioning away from backing her? Well, that and the fact that I just needed to keep up my credibility. Of course. So then Bach is your next puppet? That's what you contacted him with? That guy was super clueless. And the person in his corner was a criminal extorting him. It wasn't hard to turn him to my side. Of course, a piece like that. Not destined to go far. For this temporary measure, yeah, he might make a decent stopgap governor while I get my other ducks in a line. I didn't have a clever response. We literally made a chess piece for Kane to play. Oh man, this was fun. Really it was. I mean, incredibly frustrating at times, sure. Looking at it from a grand scale, I really did enjoy this little game the two of us played. Snapping back and forth at each other, this weird cold proxy war that's finally come to a head. It was the most interesting thing to happen in a long-ass time. Not that I do it for the entertainment, but, you know, it's a nice perk. Shame it has to end now. No, a bit more time. Surely I can fix this with a bit more time. Keep him talking. Somehow, gotta keep him talking. You don't do it for the entertainment, huh? Then why? What's the point of it all? Oh? I thought you already figured out my motive. I know you're following in Zahak's footsteps. What the hell does that even mean? Do you even know? Oh, Mercury. Again, I told you my motivation straight from the get-go. I believe that amassing power is the way we keep Panthea a paradise. I just want to make improvements. I want to keep everything in line. Trust me, I've given a lot of thought to all this. The best way for long-term growth. The issue you run into so often with these attempts at paradise is that so few people can really share a vision. Guess that was my problem, Thaisha. I find that there are a lot of different paradises, each better than what we have now. Just pick a direction, march forwards in it proudly, and make something better than what we have around here. So what? You just want to play God with Panthea? Is that it? Am I not owed that? Kane had an edge in his voice now. This might as well be my grandfather's city. They scorned him. Locked him up, but this place became better under his reign. Everyone damn well knows that. He left this city for me. He left it for me to play with, and he left it for me to keep making better. Things will be better, trust me. This ain't your Sim City, bro. There've been some slow years, that's true. Been finding my foot, had something of a dud in charge of the legislative side. It's all gonna be in the past before long. I'm the only thing that can make Panthea be what it must. Wow, what a narcissist. All men with ambition are. What Panthea must be? Why does it need your help? Why must it be sculpted by you? Are you kidding? Mercury decay is the natural state of things. Until we reach a paradise equilibrium, things will just get worse if nothing is done. Hell, you can see examples all over the country. This is how this whole place has slowly been going to shit. In Hightower, there are mass kidnappings with death collars and explosive belts, spurred by years of corruption. Zodiac trial much? In Aurea, celebrities of all types are using their fame and fortune to sway the public just for the sake of their little games. Another game reference, perhaps? Or a future game reference? It's madness, I tell ya. Have you spotted the map? You're feeling a slow, collective fall to madness. It's as if the whole country is reaching some sort of tipping point. But not Panthea. Not us. Through it all, we stand tall. We shall become the shining standard that country can aspire to. People will find safety from the masses of the madness in Panthea's golden gates. Stand tall. Resisting chaos and decline. The hell are you on about? Panthea was no different from any other of these places. Under your fucked up puppet state, a war was brewing under the surface. Could have broken out at any moment. I had it under control. You've got eyes and ears everywhere. You can nip conflicts like that in the bud before they get out of hand. What do you think I had Aisha get Devon for? Of course, Devon also went off the rails. I'm blaming you for that one. So what? You think Panthea can reach its true form under you? You alone? Acting by yourself, making whatever decisions you want? You're going to create this perfect city? Pretty much. You know that's just a dictatorship, right? Spot on. I'm trying to make a dictatorship. That's bad! Oh, grow up. What a brain-dead, level-headed, level 1 outlook on things. Dictatorship just means the state will reflect the ruler. Maybe I'm vain, but I quite like my reflection. You can't know that for sure. You're making some real assumptions to think that a dictatorship will be better than the alternatives. What alternatives? Look, I know you're really sad about JC, but just look at it logically. This is the best way, and I got proof. I mean, look at the products of democracy. Look what the masses come up with on a regular basis. You want to trust them to come up with what's right. That's no damn good. That's no damn good at all. Hell, I know deep down you agree with me. That things would be better if smart people could just control it all. You know, because you pretty much did the same thing. What? I mean, am I wrong? You acted completely independently, doing the work and making the decisions by yourself. Look how far you got. You know, just as well as me, that power of the motivated, talented individual. That's what I am. Motivated, talented, individual. This asshat. He was just like Aisha. As much as a Hawk devotee might claim to be, he's completely missed the point. The more I was talking with Kane, the more I realized that he wasn't really motivated by ideals of reform. At least not in the same way Zahak could be. It's the Polydespa way of reform. Where it just sounds good, but we're not actually going to do it. Well, we are going to do it, but not for the reasons that we pay lip service about. He had some rough ideas about how to make Panthea better, sure, but it wasn't really what drove him. His motivation could be better described as a blind sense of nationalism towards Panthea, combined with a real god complex. Or cityism? Pantheism? But whatever, hardly the point. Ah, man, I don't want to do this, Mercury, I really don't. I just don't think I can bring myself to forgive you. You know why? Indulge me. Anything to keep him talking. I'm mad because you had to fuck up Olimpo. That's the thing I can't stand for. Politics, by their very nature, change. I mean, the duats were always a temporary measure if you replaced with a strict police state when the time was right. But commerce stays the Titan's hand. Fundamentally, Olimpo was the thing that was the key to raising Panthea above its station. Creating a city of superior technology, superior economy, that would be an achievement to raise us even higher on the national map. Except for your stupid meddling, that's all in a mess right now. Kane just sighed. Ah, well, I'll just rebuild. It'll be annoying, but if you believe it, I'm actually pretty young. I've got time. Just like that. Just rebuild everything. Pretty much. You wanna know why I can? Because I have power. The power of information, the power of money, the power of connections, and the power of talent. With those four things I really can do whatever I set my mind to. I'll fill the voids you created, patch over the holes you tore, and begin work towards the perfect Panthea again. That's the far future. Right now I've got something to handle with the power of a gun. Shit! I had vamped all I could, but in the end I was still out of time. There had to be something. I was reaching a blank. Kane lifted his pistol. Then he looked up with a scared expression, dived right back into Aisha's office. Bang! Bach! I turned around and to my rescue was Bach Underwood, wielding a pistol with an extremely nervous expression. Bach! Looks like I got here just in time, huh? The nick of it, more like. Real showman, huh? On my way to the governor's office, I thought about what edge I had on Kane. I thought of one. Kane might make good use of people like tools, but he never trusted anybody else. When collecting evidence against him, he'd be alone. I'd have claimed I was a one-man army, and true, prefer to work alone. That's exactly why he wouldn't expect me to call someone else in. The only question then was who I could really trust. Realistically, we probably burned our bridge with Krish, so we can't call them. My options were disturbingly limited. Krish was objectionable, but for a few different reasons. Bildare was probably too upstanding to get involved with something like this, especially after what Laverna did to Ariane. But Bach, I had called him and explained the situation as quickly as I could. I pled with him, pulled on his heartstrings. He also loved Panthea, believed in a better one than the one we had. He wanted to live, he wanted to help. We had never had an honest relationship, but I prayed we had enough trust that he would believe me. Before I could get an answer, however, the call was interrupted. Bach was still being interviewed by police in his apartment. I thought that was probably that. I decided to move on without him, knowing the time frame to catch Kane was likely slim. And yet, never should have doubted you. A fair bit of doubt is probably a bit warranted at this point. This is what standing up for the underdog is really about. Hell yeah, Bach. I had an idea, but then reconsidered. Kane was a sly bastard. I got close to the back fence and mouthed the following phrase to Bach as clearly as I could. I am lying. Keep the gun aimed at the door. Bach looked confused but gave me a small nod. There's probably a way to shut off the electricity to those fences over by the front desk. Pass me the pistol through one of the openings, then you can go look for it. Looked over to Aisha's office, and sure enough, Kane took the bait. When I said this, he popped out. He had been listening in, waiting for a good chance to ambush us. Seeing that the pistol was moving through the fence, he thought he could kill us both. However, in reality, he was greeted with a very prepared Bach aiming his pistol right at him. Bang! Fuck! The shot had hit Kane right in the shoulder, causing the pistol in his hand to fly further down the hallway. He slunk back into Aisha's office, wounded. Good shit! Yes! Nice work, Bach. I do what I said for real. Bach just nodded, slipping the pistol under through the fence's crack. Grabbed it and aimed it straight at the office door. Kane wasn't getting a chance to grab his gun again. So you said there was a way to shut off this fence's electricity at the front desk. Wait, the gate's electrified? Yes, Bach, keep up. Try, I think it was a low cabinet. Look for switches. On it. Mission settled. Bach ran over to try and turn off the security measure. You know, wasn't sure you'd come. Neither was I. I didn't have good reason to. And yet I ended up coming all the same. Weird. You're telling me. Well, what can I say? Despite it all, you're a convincing person, Mercury. I decide that if I'm going to live, then I'm really going to live. And, well, I guess I'd rather work with a bastard like you than a scumbag like Kane. I don't know what that says about me, but it was the conclusion I came to. For some reason, this small little statement made me feel quite nice. But I didn't have time to revel in that. I think I found it. Click. Alright, the power should be out now. Awesome! Reached forward to the gate in front of me. Sure enough, no signs of shocking. Began to try and lift the chain, then gate. It was actually pretty heavy and took some effort to move. Giving it some energy, I was able to raise it high enough to duck under it. It took a few moments after that to catch my breath. Whew. Okay. Time to settle this. I held a pistol firm in my hand. Looked down the hole and saw Kane's pistol still discarded. That was all I needed for a green light. Walked forward, into Aisha's office with the pistol held out. I didn't remember any exit from Aisha's office. So where was Kane, the bastard? Lights were off, so it was really dark in the room. Walked in the room, scanning it quickly to try and spot Kane, but I didn't quite. I could finish my thought, I felt a slamming come to my side. Oh shit! I'd really fallen for the wait to ambush by the door trick. Kane, bleeding but far from out of the fight, slammed me against the wall, causing me to drop the pistol in pain. No. Usually I wouldn't be this weak. I'd done a lot of hard work today, most recently culminating in a brawl with the Daceman brothers. I was weakened. Still, I could take on fucking Kane. I slugged him in the stomach and he stumbled back into Aisha's desk. I ran forward, ready to bring him to the floor. However, as I quickly approached, Kane sprung up and got a lucky break. Let off a kick with which happened to land square in my gut. It hit right in the worst spot, sending me toppling over onto the floor. Kane may not have been a fighter, but he knew street tactics. Without a moment to compose myself, he followed me to the floor, putting his hands around my throat. Then, with a rage I could feel, he began to choke me. Shit. Choking was no fun. I could already attest to this fact. I tried pushing him off me, but my arms failed. What? And all this time they were failing now. It wasn't a matter of Kane being strong. I was weak. I'd run around all day, acting as a wrecking ball in my own right. The physical toll was beginning to catch up with me. I pushed, but I couldn't get him off me. Not as I was getting weaker. Fucking die! Kane's strangle became tighter. I could hear the gargled noises my throat was making. No. Could Bach come to my rescue? No, but those two fences were heavy and took time to get under. Nobody would get here in time to save me. Is this the end? No. Limply, I started grabbing around with my arms, looking for anything that might help. And then, my right hand felt something metal. I patted around some more and found a handle of some sort. I didn't have time to consider it anymore. I just swung whatever I was holding at Kane's body. Fuck! Kane let out a howl of pain and his grip loosened substantially. I used the opportunity to butt him in the head with my head. Ow! That hurt me just as much as it hurt him. But combined with the stab wound, Kane fell back. I began coughing, catching my breath as I stood up. Once I had my composure, I looked down at the weapon in my hand. A dagger? No, a kunai. Oh! Huh, what was that doing here? Devon's last-ditch attempt. Threw some karma farther into the future. Whatever, not remotely the time. The Gugniri always finds its target in the end. Well played, Devon. Well played, Devon. That feels like a karmically good note to end off on for now. Wow, we just did 2 episodes in one recording. Because this segment is long. This is the final showdown. I don't know how much longer it will go, but we're just going to keep on keeping on then.